Hello and welcome back to another World of Warcraft lore video. Today we are going to be talking about Blackrock Mountain. And the mountain itself is, well, it's quite a place. It had a role during leveling, and then in the vanilla World of Warcraft endgame, and then also later on in the endgame for Cataclysm in the first tier. The mountain itself is home to two rather different factions, and they've both been quite a nuisance in the past. But first let's rewind the clock so we can basically start from the ground up. Now, the mountain itself is actually really young, in that it didn't exist until rather recently. A long time ago, the Dwarves, well, a relatively long time ago, the Dwarves were bogged down in a civil war. This was known as the War of the Three Hammers, with the hammers representing the three main dwarf clans, which are the Bronzebeard, Wildhammer, and Dark Iron. After a few skirmishes, basically the Dark Iron army was destroyed. They tried to attack the Wildhammers, then the Wildhammers defeated them, and their retreating forces were intercepted by the Bronzebeards. Really did not go too well for them. So way back at in the south in the Redridge Mountains, at the Dark Iron city of Thessarian, the Dark Iron leader, who is also called Thessarian, decided that he would need something special if he wanted any hope of winning this battle. So he summoned in a little bit of help, but that didn't really work out too well for him. He accidentally released Ragnaros from his prison and brought him into Azeroth. Not really the best of moves. This caused a massive explosion which ripped the Redridge Mountains apart, leading to the formation of the Blackrock Mountain, then the Searing Gorge and the Burning Steppes. Ragnaros pretty much proceeded to enslave the Dark Iron clan, and he had them build a massive underground city inside the mountain. Well, I suppose inside the mountain isn't really under the ground in some circumstances, but you know what I mean. They named the city above the ground the Blackrock Spire, and then the underground bits the Blackrock Depths. And then, really not a great deal happened until the First War. The Dark Portal opened, the Orcs came into Azeroth, and they initially attacked and held the upper parts of the mountain. And then later on, for the duration of the Second War, the Upper Spire was actually their main headquarters. The Orcs themselves were defeated in an assault in Blackrock Spire by, I think, Terulion and friends, and they ended up capturing Ogrim Doomhammer, but Rend and Maim Blackhand were actually able to rescue some of the captured Orcs from the internment camps, and then seemingly lead them back into the mountain, where they took some of the upper levels and founded the Dark Horde. Then a little while later, the Dark Portal opened again, and this time it was also by the Draenor Horde, and they were basically trying to get some artifacts to do some of Ner'zhul's bidding. And then about 2 years after that, Nefarian ended up arriving, and he just came in, he subjugated the Dark Horde, and then he made them all his servants, basically. He then spent quite a lot of time just doing experiments and trying to make a new kind of dragon called a chromatic dragon, though it never really came to much. I mean, he did have some really good prototypes and stuff, but there was never like the full-on force that could just sort of flap out and then destroy the world, which is probably what the guy wanted. And really, for a lot of years, the forces of Nefarian and Ragnaros clashed, and neither of them were able to fully take control of the mountain, but rest assured, a lot of blood was spilled trying to. So really, that's kind of about it in terms of the pre-vanilla stuff. Our efforts in the Searing Gorge and Burning Steppes damaged the forces of both of the factions quite a bit, and then we finally killed them all off at level 60. And you'd think that was that. But later on during the Cataclysm, Blackrock Mountain was used again. Deathwing had convinced Ragnaros to ally with him, and then the caverns below Blackrock Mountain were converted into a Twilight's Hammer base. They actually used that base to supply the assault on Mount Hyjal. And then Deathwing decided that he would do the right thing and resurrect his son, Nefarian, who would then begin plotting revenge, and he started creating some new experiments, like, say, Antramedy. Well, he started creating some things, he got some minions and things like that, but I think the main guy who's actually doing a lot of the experimentation was Maloriak, who was actually responsible for making, say, Antramedes. And then we killed them all. That's basically where it ends. Upper Blackrock Spire is going to be revamped in Warlords of Draenor, so I'm sure we'll see something of the place then. But honestly, it's Blackrock Spire, it's funny, it's one of those places where we went in, we killed the guys, that's really it. There's nothing more to say. I don't know if they'll be able to use it again, though. I can't see many reasons other than this revamp. I don't think it'll play a part in any major storyline for quite some time, at the very least. Anyway, that has been it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and you can check out my social media links and Patreon page in the video description. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.